Outer Orange.
So I have just recently came back from BCS Rosemont Regionals, which is a Bushnap Card by Vanguard regional event. And during a weekend, I saw the survey go up for people to be able to talk about their feelings, basically say what they like and don't like about the game and all that kind of fun stuff. And actually now, after coming back from regionals, which is a Bushnap official event, and recently trying out other card games and everything else in between, I think that was a perfect time for me to be able to take the survey and actually express my full feelings. I can take the survey as well. Leave it below. Hopefully by the time I get this up, it'll still be active. I think this is a very important survey. I think everyone should take it, especially recently. We've all had a lot of opinions, all had a lot of voices, and this is a global user survey. Really good way to kind of tell Bushnap, hey, what's going on. There's obviously a lot of problems, a lot of stuff that people aren't happy with. I'm definitely one of the people. I've definitely been a lot less happy with the game, and it kind of sucks because I actually really love this game, and it's been really hard staying motivated to keep playing it. I'm gonna keep that more to myself. This is more so for this. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. We're gonna go through it. I do want to give one disclaimer, specifically from personal experiences with Bushnap recently. I don't know if that'll be brought up here, but if it will be, I do want to give the disclaimer. Bushnap is a little new. There's some problems with that. There's been a lot of issues kind of here and there, especially recently, like this past weekend. There's some people's literal existence of joining the tournament got deleted and all this other stuff happened. But I do want to let you know it is a new product, or new to us. So of course they're going to be building on it. So something to just kind of keep in mind as we go through this. So our first question is, have you ever bought or played any of the following to Bushnap TCGs? So I currently play or buy this. So we definitely play Card Fight. I don't really touch anything else. I did buy Shadowverse. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really as into it as maybe I want to be. I'm trying, but I'm probably just going to sell out and just kind of stick to something else. But everything else is definitely a no. How long have you known Card Fight Vanguard? So I think I've known Card Fight Vanguard for about 3 to 5 years. There, have you bought or played Card Fight Vanguard since you found out about it? Yes, I'm currently playing it. So obviously. From the following, choose the option that best describes your relationship with Card Fight Vanguard. I definitely say I'm more of a tournament player. Let's see here. So we have a tournament player, actively take tournaments to pursue victory. Casual, take tournaments for over experience. Collector, just collecting fan. I enjoy the world of blah, blah. So I'm definitely a tournament person. Free to give your feedback for the suggestions below. Product, content, card, text, or illustration related stuff. Oh my. Basically, what I wrote here was, I think promos are a huge issue for all Card Fight Vanguard players. It should be addressed sooner than later. Probably add this in here. I know some of this is slowly getting addressed, so I'm gonna add that in there just to make sure that I'm aware that they've been kind of on it, but just so they kind of keep staying on top of that. And then Supply could have better ratios. I mentioned History Collection, how Messiah should have been probably a promo and not like a direct staple in the set, where it's like impossible to pull because there's just so many cards in the set. By the way, I do want it to be known that the History Collection set is good. Like, my cat is going crazy. But overall, the set is good. Like, the stuff that they brought to the set is amazing. Don't get me wrong, like I literally reviewed this product and looked over it. You know, I work with Bushnap to get it and all that stuff, to make videos on it, right? So good product. And I got lucky, by the way. I pulled a Messiah, so it's not really an issue for so much for me. But of course, looking at it from a different perspective, I had to drop $70 to $100 on a card that is a staple, by the way, not just like a hitter sometimes, but you literally need to run it to play the format of premium. So doing stuff like that, I think, is super not okay. They're pushing the people back from wanting to play the game. I've been trying to get people into the game even in the past, and you know, the minute they see those promo prices, or they see the fact that they need promos to even try to play certain decks, like, they get turned off very easily. Definitely a big problem, and the fact that there's more decks in the future coming out that will hit the same problem is very problematic. And in the English side, we already have delays with getting sets to begin with, and then on top of that, we get delayed promos. A good example is the Ava promo. It's like a grade 2 that was like a staple in Ava that, by the way, JP got in January, I think, and we just got it literally this month, which is it's September 19th right now. That's really late and just really bad. It really ruins the hype. It ruins the ban list stuff. It ruins meta. It makes things really awkward. It's just not good. So I recommend, I know there's improvements on it. I know we're getting better about it, but I would definitely just keep making that priority almost, and definitely make sets as accessible as possible for both casual and competitive players. Tournaments and events related. Now this one's a weird one. I just came back from a tournament, and I will say the worst part about tournaments and regionals and events like that is the fact that there's little fulfillment. And especially from a competitive side, I think from a casual side, you just don't really care. But from a competitive side, if you're entering a tournament, nobody sees your rounds, nobody sees what you're doing, nobody sees how you play. And I think that's the worst thing ever. So I'm gonna put in here stream events. Stream events, it doesn't have to be perfect. There doesn't have to be a caster behind it. I just think the concept of having the event streamed would just be really good. People can see how like top level play is happening. Like we had some really amazing matches happening. I had some amazing matches happen over the weekend, and like nobody saw that but me and my opponent, and like maybe a judge or two, right? And like some people that are watching behind me. But it would be really nice if more people would see that, because I get a lot of compliments, weirdly enough. Like people will come to me and be like, wow, you played that out so well. Wow, you went so ham here. You did so well here. You really showed what this deck is capable of, blah blah blah. And like no one sees that aside from like the people that are physically at the event. And it's not like everyone has the possible chance to be there and see these events, right? If there's an event happening in the US, you know, someone JP can't just randomly fly over and see what's going on. So streaming these events would be a really good way to push that. And also it's content that people can use, whether you're a casual player, you're a competitive player, you're a content creator yourself, you're a Bushnap yourself, whoever you are. It is just information and data and access to something that can help you for your own benefits. Like there's literally the only downside is the fact that you need someone to do it. Get more exposure to the game, more people can see how games are going. Even for people like the company of Bushnap, they can literally look and see what's happening in games. Like they can be like, oh wow, Ballista is like super strong. Here is this VOD of like Ballista being super strong. You know, you just have way more access to see what's going on. Even just for ban lists, they're seeing like how the game is doing health wise. Is it toxic? Is it healthy? How's the meta? How's the English? How's the JP side? Another thing I'm going to add to this, aside from events, is more events. JP I think is very, very privileged in this aspect. They have a lot of access to events. They have more stuff going on. But for us, like on the global end of things, it really sucks. Like having only 2 major events happen basically for the whole year is like super underwhelming. It makes it really hard to want to stay to the game. Casual aspect, I guess it's sometimes okay, but I think even casual players, you know, I'm sure they want to see other people. I'm sure they want to compete, even if it's casually. I don't know how to make this happen. I know there's like probably a lot behind this one. This one's a lot harder, I think. More events would be amazing. I just recently got into One Piece, and they have like events every month almost. There's online events happening, there's offline events happening, there's events happening in different states all the time, there's shop challenges like every single month. There's always something to test for and look forward to and get excited about, and a new set to try, and something to test, something to play casually, something to play competitively. There's always something to do. Vanguard, especially now that I see the difference, is really lacking on this end. There should be more than just Bureau too. Like One Piece does a lot of offline events with like other people, like other people. I don't even know if they're streamed, to be honest with you. They just kind of happen. They just do them in Discord. They let them happen. They're not like as serious, but they just happen, and people do get prizes off of them. And you could throw in a bunch of those promos that everyone wants really badly in those. They could be smaller events where they don't count for invites. Like there's so many different approaches to this that can work offline, online. There could be, you can do smaller events that are still competitive and just give people access to like things that they just don't even have access to. For example, like, oh, here is this premium event that's just going to happen the month of September, and the thing you can win out of this is like the Harmonics Messiah, get like an extra copy or something, like a reprint or a special stamped version of it, so that way you have like a September, you know, stamped version of the Harmonics Messiah that now you can put that one in and sell your other one, right, you know, to your friends or whatever. Harmonics Messiah's in the pools, there's more people getting access to them, and on top of that, I guess more people are excited to play premium, which means people will be buying into the history collection set more, because like, oh my god, I want to play premium, entering the stamped version, I'm gonna have 2, so now I got it for 2 decks, you know what I mean? It just keeps the ball rolling, keeps the excitement going. So definitely the second. So let me put that in before I forget. Anime manga related, I haven't been following the anime recently. I've been hearing it's kind of bad, but I don't really know. I don't read the manga at all, so I just don't really have an opinion here. I'm gonna put this in here. I don't usually want to, but I'm gonna put this in here. Side stuff. Get rid of the over trigger in premium. Sorry. So here I put the OT in. It actually fits perfectly because I don't have to talk about it in here and make it all sour. I try to be nice about it and say anything mean. I just be more competitive. Less reliant on people wanting to run OT in their deck to like make certain conditions happen, less chance of the game breaking. I just think it's just a good idea. So I'm going to throw that in there. And what else do we have? How satisfied are you with Vanguard right now? I'm going to be honest with you. I really like the game. If you asked me this like a year ago, I'd probably be like here. If you asked me like maybe 6 months ago, before set 8 Minerva specifically, I was probably here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm currently like here, more towards unsatisfied. Recently, I've been really having a hard time enjoying the game, and trust me, I've really been trying. I've been purposely trying other decks. I've been trying to do other content, like, you know, like doing shorts and just trying out combos and basically trying to like do other things to kind of keep me interested. But I feel if I wasn't creating content, I feel like I wouldn't even be playing the game right now, and I think that's not a good thing. I'm being as nice as possible about it here. Like trust me, I'm not leaving the game or anything like that, but I will say in the current state of where things are going, especially globally, it is not doing too hot. And like I said, I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to start any fires here. I'm just telling you how I feel. This is a survey. I'm supposed to talk about my feelings here, so I'm talking about my feelings here. So don't take it with a grain of salt, of course. But I still travel, I'm still competing, I'm still casting, I'm still, you know, doing my normal stuff. I'm just less hyped about the game versus last year when I was like constantly excited about something, constantly looking forward to a new set, constantly building decks. This time around, I'm kind of like, I'm barely building, I'm just playing meta, I'm kind of just testing for competition, but I'm not really enjoying the game itself. And it has nothing to do with competition, by the way. It's just even casually, the game has just not felt very fun to play, and we'll have to see what the future holds. I'm really hopeful that as the next year comes in, that we're going to be seeing some improvements, some changes. V Premium is probably the funnest format of the three, and that's really sad because it's the stalest one, but V Premium actually feels the most fun to play right now, even with it being stale. I hope that stays, honestly. I hope there's some revamps to it that happen, and maybe we could keep it, but we'll have to see. I really doubt that's going to happen. This is like me kind of coping here, but we'll see. Anyway, let's keep going. Realistically, I found out about the same time as Vanguard, but I really just didn't really care about it. How long have you know about the same amount? Yeah, sure. More than initial announcements. How Rebirth, 1 to 3 years. How long have you know about Shadowverse? I know about Shadowverse for a while, I would say. It's been a while. Bought or played? Used to, but not anymore. Have you played the app version? I used to, but not anymore. I'm just gonna leave no comment on all of these. I think the only one I could talk about here is the tournament event related stuff, which is the closed regional thing. A lot of people don't like it. Over here, there's been a massive talk about it. Basically, everyone stopped playing Shadowverse. Like, we all got really excited. Like, at least from like where I live, everyone got really excited to play Shadowverse. And then shop challenges happened, and there was only like 2 or 3 max. And like, people got their invite, and then there's like 20 people at the whatever regional they're going to. And it just doesn't feel competitive or fun or that interactive. I will say some people enjoyed the time that they're like even at Rosemont, you know, they had like the Shadowverse regionals. One of my friends who got first place at one of his shop challenges in Texas was really excited to go. But even then he was like, oh, there's only 20 people here. It doesn't really feel that good. This should be open because like all my friends stopped this game after they found out that they just can't compete anymore once the shop challenges are over. So between like now and like next year, they have like nothing to do until the next slot happens for them to do invites. Now, I will say there's one disclaimer to this too. The game just dropped, so it was kind of like a crunch time thing. There's only so much time to kind of do everything. So it's possible that because of crunch time, you know, there just wasn't enough time to kind of prepare for this. So I'm hoping next year this will change, but we'll say currently this is just my opinions on how I feel about it. And I don't really have like too much like, oh no, this is in the world stuff on this one. I think next year will be a lot better. I'm assuming it'll be a lot better because there'll be a lot more time to set up and prepare for it. Feel free to give any other feedback, suggestions for Bushnap below. Now I want to talk about the Bushnap real quick. I know a lot of people are complaining about the Bushnap, but they're not even talking about the positives of the Bushnap, and I think that should be talked about because right now it's like all negative and like very little positive. Or maybe there are people talking about it positively, but you know, they're just not voicing it like loud enough to where I can hear them. So basically, Bushnap is a way to enter for tournaments, enter your name, enter your information, all your stuff without having to have any of the physical contact. Basically, it makes it a lot easier. All the deck logs are on there. Basically, everything's on there. So you don't need the papers anymore. You don't need a lot of stuff. It's just a smoother experience overall. And I'm gonna say I actually really liked it. So I just entered Rosemont recently. I know I mentioned this 100 times, but I can keep mentioning it. Obviously, Bushnap was active there. It's way easier to sign up. There's like no lines now for registration, by the way, which is like really convenient, especially for D. D format had it where you have like a location set up. So basically from like, as long as you're like near the location, you can just check in. So you don't have to literally physically be at the venue to check in, which makes it a lot easier. Also, you can build your deck log in there and it saves your deck logs, by the way. So if you have old deck logs and you basically, if you're using the same one, you could just use the same one that you already used for one event, which makes it a way smoother process. It's paperless now, which means you don't have to keep signing the slip or any of that stuff. Of course, there's some issues on that end, like people maybe accidentally clicking the wrong button. I did myself actually around round 7 in V Premium. I accidentally marked the wrong thing, but luckily enough we were able to fix it, me and the person I faced, so we were all good there. Overall, I think it's actually a very good app. I think it's doing really well. It does need some tweaking, but that's fine. It just recently dropped, and as a coder and a person who codes, of course it's not going to be perfect. There's definitely going to be room for improvement, but that's what the point of, you know, using it. The more people use it, the more little things you can find, the more bugs you can find, the easier it is to fix. I think that's, oh, we got a policy here. Okay, so let's sign a policy. I actually didn't even know there was a playmat for this. Awesome, cool, we did it. Hoping that whatever I had to say gets understood and that nobody thinks that I'm like trying to be mean. I try to give constructive feedback, like, hey, this is great, but this needs work on, you know, just stuff like that. Overall, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was a good video. It's a little different from my usual stuff, but I recommend also taking the survey. I'll have a link below. If you happen to need any cards or anything else, or for some reason you're watching this and you just got excited to buy something, 50cards.shop, OuterOrange for any of my goodies and all that kind of fun stuff. If you just, especially with the new set just dropping, so you guys can check all that stuff out. I'm gonna peace out here. Das vidanios. See you guys in future videos. Stay awesome, stay great. Bye.